So you just leveraged that VA loan to buy a property, or you're looking to purchase a property with that VA loan and you're just a little concerned about those high interest rates. Well, in this video, we're actually going to cover one of the best products that I've seen out there for you veterans called the IRRRL, which stands for Interest Rate Reduction Refinance Loan. I know it's a crazy name, but it's really important to understand, and we're going to cover exactly what it is, why it's so important, and why it's one of the best products out there for you veterans. So stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, like I mentioned in this video, we're going to cover the IRRRL, the Interest Rate Reduction Refinance Loan. That's a lot to say, but we're going to cover why it's so important and why it's a great product for you guys to leverage in these times where we do have lower prices because of the interest rates, but that monthly is really hard to swallow. Well, we have a game plan for you guys, and we're going to cover what it is and how it works. Now, before we jump into it, if this is your first time here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Patrick Longley. I'm a licensed realtor out here in Hawaii and have been for nearly a decade, helping veterans and military servicemen and women like yourself leverage that VA loan to purchase your little piece of paradise out here in Oahu, Hawaii. If you guys have any questions or need some assistance, I'd be happy to help you. Got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. With that being said, let's jump into what the IRRRL is, refinancing, and just the whole shebang of why it's important to understand. So the first thing we need to understand is, what is refinancing before we jump into this amazing product. What refinancing is it basically allows you to take your interest rate and lower it. So if you have an interest rate right now of, let's say, 6.5% and the rates come down, you can refinance, and let's say rates come down to 5.5, you could refinance from a 6.5 to a 5.5, and inevitably that would lower your monthly payment, which is always amazing. Now, if you were to do this with a conventional loan, you're a civilian, you don't have that VA loan, this could cost you 2 to 5% of the loan amount. So to crunch some numbers behind that, if you had a $500,000 loan amount at a 5% payout to refinance, that's 25 grand you got to show up with just to get that lower payment. That's a chunk of change. But with this IRRRL product, it's a little different and a lot cheaper. So let's go over the benefits, the cons, and how you can be eligible for this beautiful, amazing product. Okay, let's jump into the benefits. Benefit number one, limited paperwork. Now that you're actually getting a new loan and a lower interest rate, you would think that you need to file a bunch of paperwork like you did when you first bought your property with your VA loan, but that is not the case with the IRRRL. All you actually have to do is call your local lender who's got those lower interest rates and say, hey, I want to do a Streamline refinance or an IRRRL, and I would like to get a lower interest rate. They're generally going to ask you for very little paperwork, and most of the time, all you got to really give them is your COE or certificate of eligibility, and they can probably get that for you, and your identification. That's usually it. You don't have to file a bunch of paperwork like you did before, and boom, you get a lower interest rate. That's a great benefit. Benefit number two, no PMI still. So when you purchase that home with your VA loan, and with all VA loans, there is no PMI, and that stands for private mortgage insurance. This is insurance that is required by most lenders on conventional financing, but with your VA loan, you don't have PMI. You don't have that extra payment. And additionally, when you do this refinance, you still don't have that extra payment. So it's a great benefit. Benefit number three, no appraisal. So you probably paid for your appraisal when you had to get your first purchase, probably cost you $800 to $900, and you had to worry about, is it actually going to appraise? Is it going to be short? Well, with the IRRRL, you don't have to worry about any of that. Don't have to buy one, and don't have to worry about whether it's going to come in short or not. Just don't need an appraisal. Benefit number four, and my favorite one, is very low cost. So like I said before, that conventional loan, 2 to 5% of the loan amount. So if it's a $500,000 loan, 5% to actually get that refinance, that's 25 grand you got to show up with just to get that lower payment. But with this IRRRL product, it's generally 0.5 to 1% of the loan amount. That means if you have a $500,000 loan, just like that other schmuck, you only have to pay 1%, and that's 5 grand. That's 5 grand versus 25 grand. And that leads me into my next benefit. You actually can potentially roll that 5 grand into the loan that you just refinanced into. So you don't even have to show up with the 5 grand. You can just have them tack it on, extrapolate it over 30 years. What is that? Another 10 bucks extra a month? Maybe smaller than that. So you can actually refinance and roll that amount into the loan. The next benefit is, if you have low credit, you don't disqualify. So if you guys decided to start running up all your credit cards after you bought that house because the lender got you final loan approval and they said, yeah, do whatever you want, and you just have a bunch of debt, well, guess what, guys? It doesn't matter. I hope you didn't do that, but it doesn't matter. You actually don't disqualify. They don't check your credit score for this amazing product. So you're still good. And the last benefit, of course, is that this beautiful product is available to all of you veterans, military servicemen and women, people in the military, retired or out. All of you folks can use this product as long as you qualified for the VA loan. You still can use this IRRRL product. Okay, those are all the benefits or pros. Now, what are some of the cons? Because this seems a little too good to be true. Con number one is you need to wait till interest rates come down by at least 0.5%. So let's say that your interest rate is 6.5. If it comes down to 6.25, unfortunately, guys, you cannot use the IRRRL product. You need to wait till at least it comes to at least 6%. So at least 0.5% lower or more before you can use the IRRRL. Con number two is this product, you cannot do a cash out refinance. So in certain refinance programs, you can actually refinance the loan, get the lower interest rate, and if you built equity in that home, the bank will sometimes allow you to take cash out and put it in your pocket, which can be a great solution or strategy if you want to go buy more property because you pulled cash out of your property without actually selling it. Unfortunately, with this product, you cannot do a cash out refinance. It's just a streamline refinance. So you basically at a very low cost can just lower your monthly payment and that interest rate. And the third con or just reality of the situation is you can only do this with VA loans. So you can only use the IRRRL product from a VA loan to a VA loan. So if you have a conventional loan because you refinance out of the VA loan, unfortunately, you cannot use the IRRRL product on that loan. Okay, that was a lot of pros, not that many cons, but now you're probably wondering, how do I become eligible for this? Well, let me go over what the requirements are. Well, to be eligible for this product, the first thing, of course, like we mentioned before, it is only eligible for VA loans. You cannot do this on a conventional, you cannot do it on FHA, you cannot do it on any other loans, you can only do it on a VA loan. Requirement number two is it must be your primary residence. So you generally, and again, talk to other lenders, this might change, but generally you can only do the IRRRL product if you can prove that it's your primary residence. So before you move out of that property, if interest rates are down, I would highly suggest definitely taking advantage of it and doing that IRRRL before you move out and buy another property with your VA loan. Requirement number three is that you have to wait 6 months after your first payment or 210 days. It's very important that you understand this so that you know that when interest rates come down, that you're not 3 months later going, okay, I'm ready to refinance this thing with this IRRRL product that Patrick guy told me about. No. You have to wait at least 210 days or 6 months after your first payment. And the fourth requirement, we mentioned this earlier before, is that the rates need to come down at least 0.5% from what your current rate is. So again, if it's at 6.5%, you need to wait till at least it gets to 6% or lower before you can actually use this IRRRL product. Okay guys, well that pretty much wraps up all these amazing benefits of the IRRRL product, how it works, pros, cons, how you become actually eligible to utilize it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I got my contact information right here. You can call, text, email me, or directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. And again, if you guys want to learn more about some of the tips and tricks on how to leverage this product or some of the other products that I talk about on my channel, I've got them all organized and some that I haven't even talked about on my VA loan course where I show you how to build wealth by leveraging that VA loan course. So send me an email. Again, here's my contact information right here. I would love to give it to you for free. All I need is an email and I can send you a coupon code so you get free access to this amazing course that I sell for about 200 bucks each. So if you want some $200 worth of value that could potentially make you thousands of dollars for you and your family, just send me an email. I'll give you free access to that amazing course. Okay guys, if you guys could do me one huge favor, if you guys got any value out of this video, if you guys could click the like and subscribe as well as the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I drop videos just like this, I would greatly appreciate it as it really helps with the algorithm. It gets me fired up to make more videos and educate you guys when I have the opportunity. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm Patrick with PatrickLongLineRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.